you realize this or not, Hollywood is pretty much the Church of Satan. Hollywood has evangelists that go out and preach the good news, or the bad news, if you're saved, of the devil. They preach Satanism and humanism and wickedness. The Hollywood movie industry has had such an impact on the world that only the Lord knows how deeply Christians have been influenced by it. Hollywood has waged war on God. Hollywood hates God. And I hate Hollywood. It's either right or it's wrong. It's either light or darkness. It's not Twilight. It's either light or darkness. That they put all that smut in those movies. Children's movies. Pornography. Right in the children's movies. Say, no, they don't do that. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. In the most innocent ones you can find. Hey, can I share something with you that the top 100 movies that you watch are full of Illuminati signs? Do you know that every single movie that you've ever watched has the all-seeing eye in it everywhere? Now, why would it have that? Are you telling me that even Goofy and Mickey Mouse and all? Oh man, they're everywhere. I can show you a picture right now in one of the movies, in one of the little cartoons that says "Ask about Illuminati" right there. Oh, I'm going to get to Disney. That's another one. In the next sermon next week, it'll be Bye Bye Mickey. All right? Now, you may not like that, and I understand that, but listen, I'm mad because the devil has fooled God's people. What are you mad about? Are you mad because one of your titles is getting crushed? It's all the same, the deviancy, the fornication, the wickedness. It's all the same thing. It's never changed. It's the same mystery of iniquity. It's the same mystery of Babylon. It's the same Illuminati. It's just a different front to attack you on. I'm going to show you today that witches believe this is true. Anton LaVey was the high priest of the Church of Satan. He was the high priest of it. He says this about television. The birth of television was a magical event foreshadowing its satanic significance. The first commercial broadcast was aired April 30th, 1939 at the New York World's Fair. Since then, TV's infiltration has been so gradual, so complete that no one even noticed. People don't need to go to church anymore. They get their morality plays on television. LaVey espouses more of his Satanist philosophy and describes in detail how he sees television as the major mainstream infiltration of the new satanic religion. He likens the entertainers and newscasters to the clergy of the TV religion, who use their cathode ray pulpit to spread what he calls the word. He says that the local newscasters are the parish priests who are part of what he calls a church. You know, the Satanists are bold about it. You know, you dumb Christians, you're watching television, you know? Oh, that's a tool of Satan, you know that, right? I'm linking us all together here. I'm not singling myself out as something special that I haven't been succumbed to this, because I have just like everybody else has. The point is that what I'm trying to tell you is that the Satanists, they know it. They just admit it boldly. Yeah, that's a tool of the devil right there. All the programming, all that's a tool of the devil. Yeah, that was Satan's master plan right there. While you and I are digging through a bunch of mud to try to find a jewel, why not just burn it all and tell them they can have it? Let the devil have it. They've war against God. They war against everything that you hold dear in this Bible. They war against it. If you teach a doctrine of this Bible, they will teach a perversion of that doctrine. They will pervert it. They will mock God. Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, says this: many of you have already read my writings identifying TV as the new God. There is a little thing I neglected to mention up until now. Television is the major mainstream infiltration of the new satanic religion. The root of Satan is Satan is the root of Hollywood. He's the founder of it. He's the main promoter of it. His methods are used to propagate the messages of wickedness. Hollywood is the devil's church. Its ministers are actors that engage in the deception of mankind. Mostly all these actors say the best actors are the ones that are able to be like a medium and have spirits work through them to be the best, to play that part. And by the way, that's not new either. That's been going on since the Passion plays in Greece thousands of years ago. It is not new. Socrates talked about it. Plato, all those men talked about the fact that actors would come and they would dress up as the best devils, and those that could act the most like the devil were the ones that were as if they were possessed by the same devils. Because they were. They admit it totally. The actors are evangelists. No absolutes. No gauge for what's right and wrong. Do what thou wilt. That's the message. Satanism. For such are false prophets, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. We'll cover that next week a little bit more. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. Don't be deceived, folks. If the root is bad, then the fruit is bad. The root of Hollywood is satanic from its name. It's pagan ritualistic. We went over that. Its name, how witches use the Hollywood, the wand of Holly, and they use it for what? For sleep, for spells of sleep. You say, oh, that's crazy. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, yes, it does mean something, because when you watch television, after 10 minutes, it goes, and you just shut everything off. And subliminal messages are given to you throughout. And advertisers admit this, by the way. This is not a secret. Nobody's trying to hide this from anybody. They just know you and I are too dumb to shut the television off. Amen! Oh, these guys aren't going to shut it off anyway. We'll tell them. Do you know how bold and blatant the devil is? He just tells you what he's going to do. And watches all the Christians follow through with it and follow his pernicious ways. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Are we? Are we ignorant of them? You and I will get mad at the devil for a preacher standing up and preaching something that we need to hear. Why? Because you might have to give some entertainment up in your life. But you know what? If it bothers us, then we better get rid of it now, because it's going to